it's not easy, seeing them run up and down while I sit in the studio because, I had promised earlier that we're going to travel to the outer region, the Orashi region, where, the floods usually come annually. The floods are always, always happening on a yearly basis. And over the years, we've happened to understand. We've happened to understand that it has to do to some extent with the depth of the Orashi River. But maybe we'll just look at it from a general perspective, a general point of view, given the fact that yet again, my guest has not been able to make it true. I reached out, but connections were poor, something like that. Anyways, let's look at the situation. Today in our report, we saw where people in Rumigbo were complaining. My guest also reached out to me that, the water levels are rising in the Orashi region. The other time we saw, reports of flash floods. And, we saw the response from the government saying, please relocate. For those of you in flood-prone areas, relocate. That was the conversation at the time. And I'm thinking, in the past, I've been going out a lot in the last few days, let's say in the past 1 week or two, and I've been paying attention to the drainages because majority of the places that have been flooding in recent times have been places in urban areas and few rural areas. And the urban areas that have been flooding have flooded as a result of the drainage system being blocked. I think it was along Adojudge, just by Pepperoni Junction, right? Adojudge, just by Pepperoni Junction, the drainage there was blocked. I saw, was it Ebony Road? I think that was even yesterday, one of the streets there. People dump waste. You drink, you throw the plastic bottle into the gutter, you eat a snack, you throw the wrap into a gutter, and that place is blocked. And when the water becomes stagnant, it starts to smell, mosquito breeds, all of those things are happening. What other place did I notice? I noticed these things in certain areas. And while I saw those things, I kept asking myself the question, whose responsibility is it to clean our environment? Is it the government or is it our responsibility? Oh, we want government to do everything, right? But is it not our responsibility to clean our gutters? But then for those places where there are no gutters, I wonder what the community development committees or the local government, in this case, field administrators, are doing as to tackle the situation where there are lack of drainages. But in generality, when you look at it from a round perspective, how has flooding affected you? The flash floods, that is, I like to hear. And what do you think can be done to solve these issues? Because once again, I remember growing up in Rivers State, we didn't used to have floods in most especially urban areas. I grew up in the city of Port Harcourt as a child. We didn't have flooding in the urban areas. So what has changed between then and now? Is it the kind of constructions that we do, the possibility of no good environmental assessments done before constructions are done? Could that be the case? Could it be the case of poor environmental management? Because we used to do sanitation way back then. We used to cater. I remember Saturdays, compound people will come out, clean the compound, clean the gutter, pack it. Then there will be the truck that will drive by and carry all of the waste. Do those things still happen right about now? Anyways, I'm going to try to reach my guest once again, but I'll go to the phone lines now. Let's talk flash flooding. Let's talk flooding in general. How has floods, or how has flooding affected you personally, or has it affected you? And if it has, how has it affected you? And why do we find it difficult to clean our environment, whether the business environment, whether it's our residential environment, whether it's the marketplace? Why do we find it difficult to clean? I mean, it's beyond my imagination. Why do people dump things indiscriminately into gutters, block the drainages, and then tomorrow complain that they have, their places are flooded? But what do I know? What do I know? 0817 0002, 0817 0002. I'll take the numbers again: 0817 0002, 0817 and 0817 WhatsApp number 0809 I'll take my first call, 92.3 Nigeria Info. Good evening to you. Welcome.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Muriel from Okenya.
All right, Muriel, welcome.
Well, it seemed to me that the local government had
Apologies once again. Like I stated when I started, we're having those issues, and our engineering department are up and about to ensure that we stay afloat. All right. Eventually we get it sorted. Eventually. But now let's take some more calls, and before the commercial break, I think I take one or two. 92.3 Nigeria Info. Greetings. Welcome. What is on your mind?
Thank you, Terry. Can you hear me, please?
I could hear you, but we had a technical glitch. I had to let you go. But welcome back. Welcome back.
Okay, thank you. What I said is, seems as though the local government administrators standing with their hands tied behind their back and their lips sealed, And
Okay.
we the people seem to be better. At least we're talking. At some point we stopped, but we were talking, and we're still talking though. Look, I went to Borokri area to visit someone.
What day? What day was that?
I couldn't get in.
What day was that?
This UP Stanford area.
What day? What day? What day was that?
It was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, yes, I think 2 weeks ago exactly. And that floor, that rain that fell, that big rain that fell for whether was it also 6 consecutive days, and that people were complaining that floods and every communities.
Yeah.
I went there and I couldn't get in KDB. The person's compound was nowhere to go. The person couldn't even come out.
Did you observe if there were gutters and if the gutters were clean?
Yes, there were gutters. Right in front of the person's house, there's a gutter. These are small gutters. They're not wide gutters. So I mean, maybe they have wide gutters in those areas. Maybe it should have better. But the gutters were small, but they were okay. I think people, they dug the gutters and they were clear, but these gutters were small. And if you come to this in Polu ask this, KDB, my goodness. In fact, whenever it rains, automatically transport fare increases from 200 naira that takes you from Polu Junction to Rumigbe Junction.
So it moves from a bus. It moves from a bus to a boat, I guess. But I've got to go. Thank you very much, Muriel. I've got a commercial break, but when I do come back, we'll look at this matter thoroughly, and hopefully I get my guest on.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back. Brand new from
must have heard that. You're welcome. Good evening to you, I should say. Hard facts it is 92.3 Nigeria Info. And once again, I'm Canada Kurubatibo. So we're looking at flooding in River State. And I told you the structure for today's conversation was supposed to be the Orashi region, and I'll get to that in a bit. But I still want to hear from you listening to the show right about now to tell me about the flooding situation in your area, how it has impacted or affected you. And if you've also experienced or observed what I observed while taking, a bit of a stroll around Port Harcourt metropolis and how people treat the gutters in River State. The gutters are full with garbage. So I'm wondering where the waters... And it looks like the gutters lack connectivity, right? The waters don't have where to flow into. We'll look at all of that. But let's not go and take a quick look at what's happening in the Orashi region. And joining me to have this conversation is Onem, is it Comrade Onem Okenya?
Okay.
Yes, you are the youth president in Engenni Youth Assembly. All right. Thank you for that reminder. So you're welcome on the show. So quickly, what's happening in the Orashi region? What's happening in Engenni, to be precise? Let's know.
Well, I want to thank you, Kalada, once again. It is indeed a privilege you've given to me to actually tell the world and, of course, our great country, the precarious situation faced by the people of Engenni Kingdom as a result of the perennial flooding that is being experienced, in the area. Right now, as I speak with you, we are yet to actually experience the main flooding in the Engenni Kingdom and, of course, the Orashi region. What we are having at this point in time is the flash flooding, which has actually ravaged, our crops, forcing the farmers to hastily, harvest their farm produce. 2 weeks ago, I listened to one of your guests who was trying to belie what an elder statesman from Okenya said in respect to the flash flood that is being experienced in the area, and that was not actually a good one, in the sense that it is those who are living within that region that can actually tell you what they are facing. So during that period, when we had, I think, constant rainfall, a situation whereby the rain was falling on a daily basis, there was a flash, flood in the area, which, actually affected our crops. And that made our women, farmers, to forcefully harvest their cassava. But as for now, the main flood that always come, during September, October, is yet to come. Is yet to come at this point. So
what you're experiencing right now is not the river overflowing; it's just basically flash floods. So I want to ask you, what is the drainage system like, and do people dump refuse indiscriminately in these regions, Akinima and the likes?
Kalada, I must tell you that what we are experiencing in that region is not caused by drainage or any other thing. What we always experience in that area, in our area, has been this overflow of Orashi region. And of course, that anytime there is a release of water, in the Lado Dam, in Cameroon.
Yeah.
It flows to River Niger.
But you've just said, so sorry, because I don't have enough time. You've just said it's not the river overflowing that is the problem. It is flash floods.
Yes, for now, but what I'm trying to say is that we are actually expecting it.
No, we're not. When it
October.
comes, we will talk about that. I'm saying right about now, what is the cause of the flash floods? Is it that you don't have enough drainages, or what is the problem?
The cause is as a result of the rainfall that is being experienced this day. You can agree with me that for over 2 weeks, rain has been falling.
So that means you don't have enough drainages.
And that is what affected. No. It has nothing to do. What I'm talking about is that the community are not overflooded. The communities are not, submerged by this flood water.
But
that is submerged by this flood area is our farmland. It is our farmland that is always being affected when it rains.
Okay.
So that is where we are actually having problem for now.
All right.
But to say, just as I told you, to say that the people are raising false alarm, I think that doesn't go down well.
But if it's only so calm down now. Let's have a proper conversation so we understand. If it's only the farmlands that are flooded, could it be as a result of the terrain? Yeah. So whether for now or not, what is happening as at this moment, what we have is flash floods in the farmlands. It's not gone beyond the farmlands, right? Could it be the terrain where you do your farming? And could that also, not be? Yes, it's important to talk about it, but could it not? I don't know how to put it. Could it be that the image given to the rest of Rivers people is that that area is being affected by flash floods? And for instance, when you go to Rumigbo and you see the flash floods, you see the water. It's very difficult for cars to pass by. Businesses are shut down, and when people talk flash flood, that's what they think. So could that be where the disparity and the difference is?
Yes, I will say that.
All right. So what is the sole administrator in that local government doing about the farmlands and the fact that the farmlands are being flooded and there is the hurried harvesting of crops?
Well, I must tell you that, I'm not his spokesman. Neither am I part of his team. But I want to say that the sole administrator on his part has been up and doing. After his swearing in, he set up a committee, a flood committee, which was actually headed by an environmental, expert. And so they are working actually on it. 2 days ago, I saw on social media when they went for simulation exercise, whereby some communities were asked to, to clear the water side and some areas that needed to be cleared. And there is also a kind of a sensitization program that he has embarked on, and he also went to Okenya. I'm telling you this in terms of the preparation for the predicted, flood. So he went as far as visiting one of the IDP camps at Okenya to ascertain the true state of things and to see how the facility is. So as for in that area, he has actually been doing well. Just as I said, I am not a spokesman, so I wouldn't want to dwell much on that. But for him to come up and set up a flood committee, I think he has done well. But where we are also having issue is the state. I have not actually seen the sole administrator on his part, taking a robust decision that has to do with putting up mitigating measures that can actually ameliorate the pain of the people in case of this potential flooding in the area. He hasn't actually done anything, and I wouldn't blame him alone, because a state like Rivers State, does not have a state emergency management agencies wherein they will be empowered with the responsibility of taking care of disaster issue.
We do have a state emergency management agency on them.
We don't have.
Okay.
We don't have. So, the suspended governor did was a committee that he set up. Okay. He set up a committee, and that the suspended governor for now is not on. So
whether you like it or not, there is a state emergency management agency. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, all right. But thank you very much. I have to take calls. It's almost time for me to wrap up the conversation. So we've noted the key points: farmlands flooded in your area as of now, and then also you're expecting floods, but that's some 2 months away. So in 2 months' time, we would invite you again and we'll talk about it. But for now, I would have to take calls. And you also mentioned, I like the fact that you mentioned what the sole administrator has done in your local government. I'm going to compare with all the local government. But thank you, Onem Okenya. It's good to have you on the show once again. It's like every year.
Thank you for having me.
We only talk about floods. But thank you for picking your call as well. I've got to go at this point. Let's take calls. In his area, they had to wait for the sole administrator to start a simulation exercise to clean up the waterways and, the parts where water will flow before, they could clean it up. And I know I asked the question before Ian and I started speaking, and I'm going to ask the question again. Whose responsibility is it to clean the gutters in our business and residential environments or areas? Whose responsibility? Because growing up, we did clean the gutters ourselves. We didn't wait for government to come clean it. Do we have to wait for government to do everything? And secondly, why do we dump things indiscriminately? You're done eating, you throw the wrap into the gutter, or you throw it on the road and it finds its way into the gutter. You're done with drinking that water or that mineral or something, and you're throwing it into the gutter as well. I don't get it. So who's responsible? And then what really is the situation like in your area, talking about flash floods, given that the rains it's raining right now outside my studio. It's raining, I don't know how heavily, but it's raining nonetheless. So I want to get your thoughts. I've got, 16 more minutes to the top of the hour, and it will be time for the news. So I'm going to go to the phone lines. I'm going to reel it out now. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007. Now let's look at the WhatsApp number, 0809-0306-416. I'm going to, is it Yakuku? I hope I got the name well. Yakuku from Eleme, welcome on the show.
Yes, good evening, Kalada.
So pronounce your name, let me get it.
Yakubu.
Oh, Yakubu. I was giving Yakuku. I was wondering what the name. But Yakubu, welcome on the show. It's good to have you.
Yes, I was told that if a disabled person, like cripple, got information of the war, there's 99% possibility for him to escape.
Okay, so what's your point?
Issue of flood. I've lived here for almost 18 years now. Every year, the same story.
Where exactly are you talking about?
No, in this, almost everywhere in river.
Okay, I mean in River State.
Is surrounded by a river.
Okay.
And there's possibility that if there's flood, it will affect the people living close to the river. I will tell you what I witnessed a year before it last, and 2012, when there was flood, they bought all the things, mattresses, to somewhere where the man you spoke to as your guest. Before we get back to Port Harcourt, the same mattresses we took there, they brought them back to my tree selling. And what I witnessed last year, a flood committee was established one local government all the rice found themselves back to the market. All their meeting end up in the hotel inside Port Harcourt. There are no sensitization. There's even no need. Everybody already know that here is a flood prone area. Why wait until when it's July, August before they start talking?
All right. All right.
Does it need a rocket sign to rocket these people?
All right. Yakubu, I get your point. Why do we have to use the fire brigade approach? I always use fire brigade as a way to describe it every year, and I never forget to use that word because, they make it easy for me to remember fire brigade. I use it only when I'm talking flooding and emergencies. Because one would wonder, since we know these things are likely to happen, why did nobody make any preparations? But according to what we know, in Akinima and the region around there, the sole admin in that local government, is doing his best to ensure that they clean up the environment and all that stuff. Let's take this call, and this is from Bright, and Bright is calling in from where? I don't know. Where is he calling in from now? Welcome.
Can't you hear me? I say my name is Lloyd.
Oh, Lloyd.
Double-L-O.
Oh, Lloyd, welcome. Lloyd, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm.
Can I say something now?
Yeah, please. You're on air. Go ahead.
Thank you. The problem we're having in this state is other towns. Too many markets everywhere.
Okay.
If you go around that Levante side, all the whole buildings are all markets.
Okay.
And there's no garbage collected. There's nothing to put all those things, and they bring from the market, from the farm to the market. It's not processed. Why do you blame them? All these things are the reasons why we're having all these problems. And as they come here, they don't care about the city. What they come here is to look for their money. They come to bury us and not to praise us. So
Lloyd, while you blame, and I think you have a good point, it's not only places where there are markets that experience floodings, right? I mean, there are several other places that are not marketplaces that still experience flash floodings. Places like Rumigbo, for instance, Oluwa Basanjo Road.
When
go ahead.
Water is moving,
yeah,
it's an erosion. When water is moving, it's an erosion. And now as it keep going, and they cut, if something caught them there, and they stuck, they stay there, then they will be tightening up. If there's no way, you can't stop water.
Okay.
It will find its way. And the way the Las Vegas has constructed this road, nobody can lift that thing that covers the drainage. Nobody, even two people cannot carry it up. We need something or an organization that can be able to construct some hooks and then a hose.
So you're saying to go clean. So you're saying to go clean.
Las Vegas to provide us with those things.
Okay, to go clean in the gutters.
The place will be clean.
Oh, okay, I get you.
Open.
All right. Leaving it open. Leaving it.
To reason things in another way.
Lloyd, leaving it open is dangerous because someone can fall inside, especially when it's dark.
No, somebody cannot fall inside.
Oh,
when
really?
You open it, you will see the deck. You organize people to move it out. Tank council. Just as when we were growing up, there was tank council. They clean everywhere.
All right. Thank you, Lloyd. Lloyd says, wow, okay, that's his opinion. He says the water takes sometimes to death and it gets stuck underneath some of the enclosed gutters. But what are you thinking? How has it impacted your area? I'd like to know. I'm still taking calls. 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello?
Yeah, welcome.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Quickly, let's get your thoughts now.
My name is calling from Andoni local government.
All right, welcome. All the way from Andoni. Let's get your thoughts.
Yes, we are talking about flood in all the states. My brother, this afternoon I want to buy something. There's no way to walk out from the road because there's no drainage in the Saramaya. Especially the modern branch when I'm making the doing along the Apostle Church at Saramaya. There's no way to cross that place. So we need government to help us so that put drainage along that place so so that they can change the water to the river.
All right. All right, then. All right. Thank you very much. So in Asarama. I'm going to take one more call. I'm tempted to. I missed that one. I've got an infomercial, so I'm going to go for a commercial. Do stay tuned.
This is an infomercial on 92.3